Hello, this is Thomas, K4SWL. If you're new here, I like to do real-time, real-life amateur radio field activation videos. And today I'd like you to join me here at the Table Rock Fish Hatchery. I just pulled up here in the car and I'm about to set up. And it's kind of funny, as I came out here today, I'm on my way to visit my parents for a couple nights. I helped them out with a few things, and Table Rock's one of my favorite little stop-offs on the way. I like it here because it's usually very quiet. They've got some really nice tall trees for antennas. And speaking of antennas, couldn't decide what I wanted to bring out with me today. So I decided I'd try something different, and I went to my antenna bag where, frankly, I keep a lot of antennas that I haven't pulled out lately, and I need to more often. And I found this pack right here. And this is basically a stolen antenna. This is an antenna made by my friend Eric, WD8RIF, and it's a doublet, I believe. He told me last year what it is. When I discovered it in my pack, I couldn't remember where I even got this, and I thought, you know, I saw this 35 millimeter canister and then thought this must be Eric's. He's a photographer, and he likes to use these little 35 millimeter canisters for his projects. And so I thought, you know, that must be it. This must be his antenna. So I contacted him, showed him pictures, and he said, yeah, I'd like that back at some point. I forgot. I wonder what happened to it. Well, he gave it to me during the National Parks on the Air program back in like May 2016. Wanted me to check it out and see what I thought of it. Evidently, I'm still waiting to see what I think about it, because I don't think I've ever deployed this antenna. He gave it to me. It was in this kind of nondescript, I think it's a Shure microphone bag. I came home and somehow it just got stowed away. And but since it was in this nondescript pack, I think my wife didn't even know that this was an antenna. And I rediscovered it last year, or early this year, I can't remember now. And stuck it in my antenna bag, and I haven't even been in that antenna bag since then. So we're going to deploy this today. I really can't remember what bands it was made for. I assume, knowing Eric, that it probably goes down to 40 meters, and I'll be hooking this up to my Elecraft KX2, which I have in the car. It has an internal antenna tuner, and I think that I'll need it if I plan to work multiple bands. I don't see any sign of this being a linked system. It's probably a multi-band doublet, I'm guessing. I'm not going to film putting this up, and the reason why is because I've never deployed this before, and it could take me a long time to fiddle around with the wires and that sort of thing. So, but I will show you what I plan to do, and then we'll see if it kind of goes to plan. I need to set up, I want the feed line to be sort of vertically oriented, and I plan to probably have it branch out like an inverted V. And I'm looking forward to doing this, actually, because I, you know, over my career of doing amateur radio activity, especially from home, I've always had doublets. I've always had doublets at home, and I've deployed them many, many times for field days and for other field events, but I don't use them a lot for Parks on the Air and Summits on the Air. Some people really swear by them, and I think that they perform really well, but the issue is it just takes me a little longer to put them up, because you've got 3 points that you need to secure. You know, you've got your center and you got your two ends, and actually I would almost like to put this up as a dipole, but sort of with the two legs horizontal, but you know, probably won't do that today. I'll just do it as an inverted V today. I brought a little extra line that I can probably hook up to some stuff over here, and yeah, should work out. So anyway, I'll start getting set up here and check back in with you here if I can get this up in about 10 minutes or so. Okay, I've got everything set up now. Basically, it was really easy to do. Eric put these banana plugs on the end of the feed line here, so it was nothing more to do than just to plug it into the end of the BNC binding post. And now the proof is in the pudding. Let's see if this is resonant on anything. I strongly suspect it's not resonant on 40 meters. It's just the legs are a little too short for that. Let me go here. Oh, I've already got it on the ATU mode, so let's turn it to, whoops, bypass. So this disengages the ATU, so the ATU will have no effect on this at all. And let me just hit my key, and let's see where the SWR goes right here. Okay, the SWR is really high. Yeah, this isn't a 40-meter resonant. I didn't think it was. Now let's see if the ATU can find a match, though. Knowing Eric, I suspect this will find a match, because he has an Elecraft KX2 that he probably designed this around. Wow. It didn't take him long to get straight to 1.3 to 1, so that's excellent. So it's a good match. It means it won't be super efficient, but it'll probably be as efficient, if not more efficient, than most of the verticals and things I use, I'm guessing. Oh, let me check the time. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, so it's 15:40. Well, I shouldn't put that on there yet. That's wishful thinking. I don't know if when I start calling CQ. So I set up hammers so that I can log it here on the side with the hammers application, and I put in the information I needed. So hopefully I can do this on the side here without much problem. Let's go ahead and start calling CQ. So I'm going to call QRL first. Let me hit the ATU button one more time. 1.3 to 1 is about as good as it's going to get. That's fine. These are the N0SA precision soda paddles that he made. I posted something about this. Now, keep in mind, these videos are behind. You're probably watching this. This is October 20th, 2021. I'm probably going to publish this, and it'll take 2 weeks for me to publish this to get it uploaded and everything. And I've already done a couple of activation videos with these, but I haven't posted them yet. I did post a note about these paddles on qrpeer.com, and had mentioned that these are kind of a limited run. Larry N0SA only makes a certain amount of these at a time. In fact, he's really in retirement and just kind of does this for fun. So I posted something about it because he did have them for sale, and he sold out within like 3 or 4 hours, just a few hours. So I don't know if he's making a second batch or not. I am guessing he might, and I'll certainly post something on the website on qrpeer.com when he does do that. But I've gotten so many questions about these paddles. They are wonderful. I really love them, and I'm keeping them right now in my KX2 kit to use with the KX2 because I like them so much. But anyway, let's go ahead and start calling CQ. Hopefully the reverse beacon network will pick me up. Because I did schedule the activation before I left today. If the reverse beacon network picks me up, it'll spot me. Also, my buddy Mike, K8RAT, is on the lookout. He didn't know exactly when I was starting, and I didn't know how long it'd take to deploy this antenna. But hopefully he's watching out for me as well. There is no internet access at this site. I have nothing. I think occasionally I get enough cell phone coverage that a text will come through, but there's no way I could spot myself. This is Steve. Georgia. There we go. Let's get you in the logs there. Okay. I think it's a W, maybe. There we go. Okay, let's call CQ again. It's like a few people there, so 5 contacts in very short order. Very good. Wow, great signal from W4SK. This is acting a little bit like an IBIS antenna. "13 logged." Holy cow, man, this is fast. Oh, right, of course. N8SCO. Wow. Wow, man. Okay. Eric, if you're watching this, I will give this antenna back to you. If you're not watching this, consider it stolen. This is a stolen antenna at this point. Man, this thing's doing really well. Maybe it's worth the effort to put up a doublet after all. I mean, I've always known that, right? Doublets perform pretty well. And this is acting a little bit like a Nivis antenna. I'm not too surprised. It's not very high up. And the legs are out at a nice kind of 45-ish degree angle. So really, it's, operating pretty well. And I'm picking up all these North Carolina stations I don't normally get easily. South Carolina, that's case in point. Case in point. Normally South Carolina is a tough one for me to get, so this is definitely acting like a Nivis antenna. I mean, so far Wisconsin's really the farthest state I've gotten. 140 meter. Okay, there we go. Got you in there, WBJAY, WB8JAY. Good to have you in here. Okay, thank you for the park to park. I'll call CQ once or twice more, then move up to the 30 meter band, maybe? Maybe 20 meters. Maybe I'll do 20 meters. Now, I'm hearing thunderstorms, it sounds like. Now, I'm going to disengage this. Very curious if this is maybe resonant on 20. No, it is not. It is not resonant on 20. Okay. Put it back into, whoops, auto mode. One to one, okay, good. That's good. 20 meters, CW. Okay, I'll have this guy work away, and in the meantime, I'm going to change my frequency to, excuse me, 14.06, no, 06, whoops, 0605. So it automatically selected 20 meters for that, which is good. Now the RBN will have to... Okay. I'll call CQ again. This is mainly to make sure this into Zulu Uniform Tango could have just found me in the wild there. I want to make sure the reverse beacon network spots me. You know what? I need to do some single sideband today too. I haven't done single sideband in a while. I like that call sign ZUT. In French, zut means kind of darn or something. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for the call from Spain. I appreciate that. This is sort of like finding out that you had a secret weapon in your in your antenna backpack the whole time and didn't know it. Eric, man, I don't know if I'm going to give this thing back to you. I hate to tell you. I'll give it back. Unless you're not listening to this. If you're not listening to this, you're not getting it back. But this performs very, very well like this. Excuse me. The weather today could not be better. Nice and cool. Yay, okay, good. It's hard to hear him in there. But I'm glad I got you in the logs here. You're very, very faint, but I could hear you there. Let's go ahead and call CQ again. I may move to single sideband after this. Let's see, I'm going to get the mic out. In anticipation of that, maybe I'll try 40 meters a little bit. If I haven't mentioned it and you're new here, I'm running 5 watts. 5 watts is all I really use for POTA and SOTA, even though this is capable of putting out 10 watts. What am I saying? You know what? I can't easily do single sideband. I don't have a way to spot myself. Let me double check my... Ooh, wait. I do have a wee tiny bit of internet right now. Okay, we'll try. If I can't get the spot out, though, I'm probably going to... I was using the internal mic. Let me get the microphone. This will make it a little bit easier. There we go. You know what? And I'll probably pump up the power to 10 watts just because I can now. I've got my activation completed more than once. No service. Okay. I don't know how kind this is going to be to me. Okay, there. I got a little bit of service now. Let's see. I'm going to go down to the place I like to be.
Appreciate you, QRZ. CQ POTA Parks on the air. CQ POTA Parks on the air. CQ POTA Parks on the air. November Charlie 4 X-ray Lima NC4XL at Kilo 2723 at Kilo.
I forgot I need to tune real quick before I do this. Went off frequency. There we go. Now notice I moved off frequency to do that. Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima, park to park, park to park.
Kilo X-ray 4 Mike November 5 and Niner.
Roger, roger. Yeah, you're a 5'9", strong 59 into your neighboring state of South Carolina.
I'll take South Carolina. I'm looking for a young lady. I haven't heard her yet. Here's Mike. Kilo November 4 X-ray Papa. You're 5'9", 59 with me.
Yeah, it's Kilo X-ray 4 Mike November. And I'm sorry, one more time, your call sign?
Roger, mine's Kilo November 4 X-ray Papa.
Roger, roger. Actually, when you came on the air, I thought you were calling my call sign, and just it sounded so familiar because I'm Kilo X-ray 4 Mike November. Anyways, yeah, Kilo November 4 X-ray Papa. Yeah, Pop.
Here come my dog friends.
Nice to make your acquaintance. You're a 5'9", 59 also into South Carolina.
Hey, fellas. Yeah, I love these guys. Hello. How's it going? How's it going? Yeah. Haven't seen you guys today. Usually come out and visit me right when I pull up, but you must have been busy with other matters. With your doggy jobs you have to do today. Hello. These guys are great. Sorry. The activation has to stop when the dogs come along. often they'll greet me at my car when I get here, so that's kind of fun. Let's see, let me go ahead and move this up to 10 watts.
Roger, my park number is Kilo 2723 and stand by for November Charlie 4 X-ray Lima. Okay, thanks for getting out there.
There we go.
Thank you for a great signal from West Virginia. Whiskey Charlie 8 Lima. This is November Charlie 4 X-ray Lima. You're 5 and 9er.
I like this new pencil. I'll have to tell you about it sometime.
You're also 5-9 West Virginia. Thanks for
Hey, fella. Good to see you.
Appreciate you being there. QRZ.
Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima, park to park, park to park.
Okay, there's a park to park.
Roger, Roger, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima, and I'm at park number K8012, K8012 here in North Carolina. QSL?
Roger, you got Mr. Thomas, K4 Sugar Whiskey Lima. You're 5555 from the Kilo 27232 operators.
Roger, Roger. Okay, I'll take the second operator then.
Okay, here he is. All right, Kilo November 4 X-ray Papa, you're 5555.
Roger, Roger. Thank you very much from the with the 55 from K2723. Hey, 7-3s, and you guys enjoy your activation. Good luck.
Good luck and thanks for stopping by. Was there Kilo Charlie 2 Bravo Papa?
Okay, let's see. Now I just need to log these two guys here. Let's see. It's nice when you got two stations like that. It makes for two contacts. Two park-to-parks. XL. And let me put in his park number. Their park is Kilo 2723. Okay. And then Kilo November 4 X-ray Papa. And they're also Kilo 2723. It's kind of funny because when I'm doing an activation and I do a park to park, I'm bad about not logging them properly, and I think it's just because it gets me out of rhythm of what I'm doing here. Okay, so let me find a clear frequency. Hey there, fella. You doing well? Sorry, I love these dogs. They're great. Is this frequency in use? I'm going to have to hit the ATU on this. Is this frequency in use? This is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima. Yeah, I've got it loaded in there again. Okay, so now I need to try to respot myself.
POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling C2 for parks on the air. POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling C2 for parks on the air. POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling C2 for parks on the air.
Oh, got no service. Come on. So what I'm doing right now is I'll have this run while I'm trying to do a spot. And if I actually get the spot to go through, that's great. If not, someone may possibly tune around and hit me, and I can ask them to spot me.
POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling C2 for parks on the air. POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling C2 for parks on the air.
Struggling to get this spot out, and I'm not so sure it's going to do it.
POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling C2 for parks on the air. POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is
Trying to see if I've got just enough internet. So off here on the side, I'm trying to see if I got just enough internet to... So far, it doesn't look like it spotted me.
CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks
Still got my old spot. I'm going to reload the page. I'll try this again. I'm surprised I've got a signal. This is very odd. I don't think I've ever had a signal here before.
CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air.
Wait a minute. I'm way down there.
CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra
Well, it doesn't show me.
calling CQ for Parks on the Air.
Let me add a spot.
CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air.
Come on, do it, do it, do it.
CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling.
Yes, it did it. Excellent.
CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air.
Now I just have to make sure that I've got all the logs set up and everything else.
Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air.
CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air.
Kilo Tango 4, Echo Mike.
Kilo Tango 4, Echo Mike, you're sounding great. About a 5x9 here at park number 8012 QSL.
QSL, you're about a 5.6 here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Appreciate the activation, over.
Roger, Roger. Thank you very much. It's great to hear. You got a great signal out here near Table Rock, North Carolina. Hey, thank you very much, and enjoy your day.
Thank you, you too, and have fun. 73.
7-3s. QRZ, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. Now my QRZ, I went down to 5 watts. QRZ, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. I hear a little QRM. By the way, this went down to... QRZ, sorry I missed that. QRZ, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima, Parks on the Air. Can you repeat that? QRZ, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. You notice I'm down to 5 watts. I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but that's because I have depleted the battery doing this activation in CW. and so it'll only do 5 watts out now from here on out. This is actually my old battery, not my new battery, I don't think. Let me see, is it? Yeah, this is a new battery that I bought, and I could pull this off and do this, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to do 5 watts. I'm okay with it. But I bought this battery. It's charged up. This radio has done one other activation besides this one on this particular charge of this battery, so I can't really complain. The battery's 5 years old.
Whiskey Delta 8 Juliet Victor Victor.
Whiskey Delta 8 Juliet Victor Victor. You're sounding great here about a 5x7 at Park 8012 QSL. Whiskey Delta 8 Juliet Victor Victor, your 5x7 Park number 8012 QSL. Roger, Roger on the 5-2 in Ohio. Thank you very much, sir, and have a great day.
Thanks for the contact, Thomas.
7-3s, my friend. QRZ, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air.
POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air.
November 3, November, Whiskey Victor.
November 3, November Whiskey Victor. You're sounding great about a 5x9 here at Park number 8012 QSL.
Yeah, QSL, about a 53 up here north of Pittsburgh. You're sitting on a local birdie I got. But 7-3 and good luck.
Hey, 7-3s, my friend. Thank you very much, and have yourself a great day. QRZ, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air.
November 4 Hotel India Delta.
November 4, Hotel India Delta. Great signal, about a 5x8 here at Park number 8012 QSL.
QSL, you're about 5-7 Kentucky. Good luck, thanks.
Hey, thank you very much, my friend. 7-3s, and have yourself a wonderful day. QRZ, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air. CQ-POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ-POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ-POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. Let's see, when did I start this? 1544. We're at 1627. I haven't even gone an hour yet. CQ-POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ-POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. So I'll use beacon mode. This is one of the great things about the KX2 is beacon mode with even with voice messaging. But I got to be ready to hit the PTT button to stop it if somebody calls. Well, you can hit the PTT button or you can hit the transmit button. And that stops it. And the KX2 also has a built-in microphone, so I could use that if I really wanted to, but it's easier and better, I think, to use the hand mic if you've got it with you. Excuse me.
Whiskey Charlie Lima.
Okay, the Whiskey Charlie Lima station, go ahead.
Okay, you're about 5-5, 55 in the West Virginia
Roger, Roger, can you give me your, excuse me, can you give me your call sign one more time, please?
Whiskey Charlie 8 Lima, WC8L.
Roger, Roger, Whiskey Charlie 8 Lima, Whiskey Charlie 8 Lima. Got you in here. And this is park number 8012, and you're a 5x9 here, 5x9, great signal. Hey, 7-3s, and have yourself a great day.
Okay, thanks for getting out there and activating. Appreciate it.
QRZ, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. Okay, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima. I am going to QSY up to the 20-meter band. This is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima. Here's what I'm going to do. Now, I do not know if this camera, this could end abruptly because I don't have a battery hooked up to this camera, and I may be starting to exceed what this battery in the camera can do. But I am going to try 20 meters, single sideband, but let's change the battery so I can do more output power. So we'll do that here. Let's see. We'll do 10 watts out on 20 meters. That may give some stations a little further afield a chance. In single sideband, I think that has more impact than it does in CW. CW, I don't think it'd make much of a difference, to be honest, but single sideband, I feel like there's a big difference between 10 and 5 watts. You can still do your activation with 5 watts, no problem, but 10 watts may give you, give some DX a little bit better chance to work you. Let's try this again now. Excuse me. And if I can get enough signal to is this frequency in use? Looks like I've still got a bit of battery in the camera. I'm sorry if this goes out on this. It could be very quick when it does. This is frequency in use. This is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima. Is this frequency in use? This is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima. 14317.
POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air.
And I lost service right when I was trying to get that spotted. Come on, service, come back. See, I lost service right as I hit the submit button. That happens. By the way, if I haven't said so, I appreciate you joining me today. This is awfully nice having company out here. Very soon I'll be wearing jackets when I come out. It's starting to get chillier. It's beautiful today. I don't mind cold weather at all. I prefer cold weather to hot weather. So. Oh, this may take a while to get a signal. One thing about single sideband is if you can't spot yourself or get spotted, it's like you don't exist out there. It's just by chance someone may land upon you. So.
This is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for parks on the air.
I got a little bit of service. And did I get myself spotted? No.
POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for parks on the air. POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for parks on the air.
It's hard to get spot yourself when you've got such really, really bad internet connection. Okay, good. It did it. Good. Maybe I'll get some contacts now. Okay, let me move this to 20 meters, single sideband. So I got this set up again. I really hope that the camera holds up here. It's getting a little low. This has been a long activation. For me, actually for most people, it's probably an average length activation, but my camera gives me no warning at all. It just stops when it stops. So CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima at Table Rock Fish Hatchery, which is Kilo 8012, calling CQ for parks on the air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima, calling CQ for parks on the air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima, calling CQ for parks on the air. Kilo India 7 Uniform X-Ray Tango. You've got a great signal, about a 5x7 here at park number 8012. QSL?
QSL, I have you 5757 Whiskey Alpha. Great to finally catch you, Thomas. I watch a lot of your videos.
Well, thank you very much. I'm honored. Yeah, it's great to get Washington State here too. You're my first contact on 20-meter single sideband. I've been moving around a little bit, and I'll probably be on the air here maybe 5 or 10 more minutes. But great working you. Great getting you into logs. You sound great here in North Carolina.
7-3. Thanks for activation, Thomas, and good luck.
Thank you, sir. 7-3s, and have a wonderful day. QRZ, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air. Okay, I think I hear a Whiskey 7 station out there. Go ahead. QRZ, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima, calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima, calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima, calling CQ for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima, calling CQ for Parks on the Air. We'll do the automatic thing here. I'll start to kind of in the background pack up some things. I'm not going to hang out here too much longer.
CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima, calling CQ for parks on the air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima, calling CQ for parks on the air.
Oh, this pencil. I'll tell you the story behind it here. So this is a Kohinoor, I guess is how you say the name of the pencil, but this is one that, it's the same model that I used to use when I was in my very favorite class in high school, which was drafting. I love drafting. And
Juliet Whiskey Delta.
Kilowatt 2, Juliet Whiskey Delta. You've got a great signal, about a 5x8 here into park number 8012, QSL.
QSL, thanks for the 5-8 and 8012. You're about a 53.53 here in Massachusetts. Mike Alpha, name is Mel, Mike Echo Lima.
Roger, Roger. Thank you very much, Mel, for the Massachusetts contact. I really appreciate it. And thank you very much. And 7-3s, have yourself a great day.
73.
QRZ, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air. They're a little fewer and further between on 20 meters. Anyway, this is a pencil that I had in drafting class. And I remember when I was in high school, I paid for it. And it was like a really big purchase for me at the time. It was probably $15 or something. But I loved it. It's perfect for T-squares and triangles and things because of the way the end of the pen or pencil is designed. Also, it's very grippy on the end, and it has an eraser. You can also change what the type of lead is. I mean, you can indicate the type of lead if you have multiple pencils by doing this, and it has HB in it right now. But anyway, the company stopped making these. And I couldn't find one anywhere. I really wanted one again. And I just noticed the other day when I was on Amazon that they started selling these again. And it said something in the advertisement like, you know, back by popular demand. So evidently I wasn't the only one that liked these. And I was so happy. I grabbed the 0.9 millimeter one for using with logs. And I have a 0.5 millimeter one in the shack that I use. I still like these, way less expensive. What are they called? Oh, there's another name for these. Yovitech or something's the name of them. And they're great. Actually, they're like a lead holder. Whoa, I'm hearing a big jet go by. That sounds like a high-speed jet, actually, like a military craft. I don't know if you could hear that, but as I'm gabbing away, I'm easily distracted, especially with aircraft. Okay, I'm going to probably call it quits. If I get one more, that'll be great, but... Okay, where is it? Yeah, that is definitely a high-speed aircraft. Wow. He's circling back around, it sounds like, maybe. Roger, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. Okay, the park-to-park station, go ahead. Okay, you are way down in the noise. Somehow I've got a local noise here that just started up, probably from power line noise. I'm going to need you to repeat your call a few times there, maybe about 3 times in a row, please. Repeat your call. Oh, I can't hear anything. Okay, the park-to-park station, I can't hear you at all right now. Can you try again, please, and repeat your call a few times? The park-to-park station, try again, please. I don't know where that noise came from. Noise blanker's not killing it. Noise reduction is helping a little bit. The park-to-park station, go ahead. The park-to-park station, go ahead. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know if you're still out there or not, but the band must have changed or something. You completely disappeared, and I've got a little noise here now that wasn't here before. Maybe try again here later. I'm going to be on for just a few more minutes, maybe. So maybe try back here again later. QRZ, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima for Parks on the Air. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. There are power lines behind this site here. CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air. This isn't like being on a summit where you're on a summit where there are no towers or anything and you have really like no noise at all. When you're in a place like this, there's a business. I mean, the fish hatcheries over here with all their equipment and heaters and all those things. They've got power lines coming in. It's no wonder that there's a little QRM here, but it's actually not that bad normally. But it can be expected. Yeah, I'm going to call CQ about 3 more times, and I need to hop off. I need to move on, plus I'm pretty sure this battery is going to give up here on the camera.
CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air.
I'm pretty pleased with this, though. This activation went really well.
Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air.
For a stolen antenna, that means the moral of the story is stolen antennas work well.
Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air.
Eric doesn't need this antenna back. He doesn't need it back.
CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4.
I mean, look at this. He even has this really cool Hughes Aircraft Company
CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4.
winder. This is really nice. It's got a ground on it. Wow. Or it's got a lug here. Eric, you don't need this. I need this more than you do. You do really well with the antenna you use. I think I should keep this one.
CQ POTA, this is Kilo 4, Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air.
Okay, park to park station. If you are happen to be watching this, I'm sorry, but whatever noise this is, it's louder than you are. And noise, like DSP really is nice. It really is. It helps. A little DSP can help a voice pop out of the noise, but it can't bring information in that isn't there. So if the noise is louder than the voice underneath it, you know, it can't really do a whole lot with that.
Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air.
But if you have voice that's, you know, in competition with noise and they're at the same level, or maybe the voice is a little higher but the noise is really loud, DSP can make a big difference. BHI products are great for that, actually. I've got one in the shack that I've been playing with here lately. It was sent to me on loan, and I've been very, very pleased with it. It can take a kind of a noisy day like QRN and stuff and make it much more pleasant. And also make a cheaper radio sound better. Okay, I'm going to hop off here.
Sierra Whiskey Lima calling CQ for Parks on the Air.
Okay, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima. I'm going to call QRT now and pack up. This is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima. Any last people for Parks on the Air? Okay, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Whiskey Lima clear. There we go. So I got a total of 31 QSOs. I don't know if this QSO map will show much. No, it won't, because it hasn't been hooked up to the internet very much. My connection to the internet's been very, very sporadic. But I will upload this later when I get back. Very pleased with this. Very pleased with the antenna. And really nice contacts. I appreciate everybody that tried to work with me today. Man, I worked, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I completed this activation in basically 9 minutes. That's pretty phenomenal. I like this doublet. So when I if I return this doublet to Eric. You know what? I won't see him for a while yet, so what I can maybe do, unless he wants me to post it to him, which I do, of course, if he just says, wait until I see you next time, then I'll use this antenna a whole bunch more. And I'll probably make myself something like it. I'd like to find this sort of twin lead that he's used. I've never seen anything quite like this. If you guys know anything about it, maybe you can chime in and tell me a little bit more about this type of twin lead. Looking on here, I don't see any markings, but Eric will know. I can check with Eric. But anyway, yeah, another great activation. Thank you so much for joining me today and coming out here. I'm going to pack up, go try to find some lunch. I didn't bring anything with me today. And yeah, I hope you'll join me with my on the next activation. I really appreciate you coming along. And if you get a chance, get out and play a little radio in the field. Also, remember, all we got on this old planet is each other, so be kind to one another. It certainly can't hurt these days to just be kind. And if you're a ham and you can help someone, try to reach out and help them. Ham radio can feel like a really solitary thing sometimes, where we're just all operating, doing our own thing, or we're in our shacks, and you know, unless you're in a club meeting or something, you're not with a whole lot of other hams a lot of times when you're operating. So if you get a chance, help someone who's just getting into the hobby, and maybe take them out to a park or a summit or something and show them how to play radio in the field, or go help them set up their antenna at their house. That's something I'll always enjoy doing when I can. Anyway, thank you so much again for joining me, and until next time, 7-3s, if you get a chance, you can hit the subscribe button. I don't monetize this site with ads or anything like that, but it is nice to know sort of how many people are watching the channel. And that's about it. So again, thank you very much, and 7-3s.